Warning, the following broadcast, starring 2 of the 5 more uneducated members of the mediocre chart racing pop rock band Massive Wagons, may contain swearing. We apologise if it causes offence. All opinions are our own.
Howdy.
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 I have no idea where that came from.
Howdy.
Hello.
All right.
Someone told me that before hello, it was like ahoy hoy. That was the thing. I could have been lied to. Or ahoy.
Ahoy?
And,
well, I could maybe imagine that. Ahoy hoy.
Well, I don't know.
Ahoy,
Ahoy
hoy.
hoy. It was because of the phone, I think, that hello, they sort of needed to sort of standardise a kind of, a greeting. And that's where hello came from.
There you go. Every day's a school day, isn't it?
You know what?
Hello.
I could be talking completely out my ass here.
Ahoy hoy.
I'm sure I've heard
Who
that.
told you that?
I don't know. I can't.
You dreamt it.
Maybe I dreamt it, but anyway, we'll stick with
ahoy hoy.
We'll stick with howdy.
I was going to say, I hope there's not a strong breeze going to blow that camera. It's not very. It's not.
Is it moving?
No, it's not. It's not moving. But right before we started, you pressed record, and the thing was like, I'm going.
To be honest, we need a new tripod. We've got a few tripods in.
You only need to ask.
Very good, very good.
Dear.
A tripodcast.
The tripodcast.
Yeah, but yeah. Triggered podcast, Massive Wagons podcast, whatever you want to call
Still
it.
waiting for our food. Been here all week.
Yeah, still here.
Szechuan beef, love.
Yeah,
That's it.
We're going to decorate the place like.
You said we've got them. Not one of them cats.
One of the cats that beckon people in to part them from the money. No, that's what. Yeah,
You're joking.
No, it's not a wave. It's like
I just thought it was something I didn't understand.
No, it's like
spend your money.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's like
spend.
It is.
Yeah,
It's something to do with like enticing people in. Yeah, like.
Bugger me.
It's not a wave.
You know everything, don't you?
Ahoy
hoy.
Again, I could be talking completely on my ass again. Please correct me if I'm wrong. But
the golden cat of dreams. Yeah. They are nice. They sort of transfix you, don't they? Them cats. They're like, there's something about them, isn't there?
There is something about them.
Cool, isn't it?
Yeah. But yeah, no, there you go. That's what those little golden cats that wave at you from takeaways.
There you go, eh? You learn something new again.
Yeah. But I'm going to be bombarded with comments now telling me what a lot of not tosh that is, but
a lot of dribble.
Yes. So, what are we going to talk about today? Well, we're on tour in a couple of weeks, aren't we?
We are. Is it 2 weeks? Is it? That's come around fast, hasn't it?
Yes, it is.
I keep thinking for the last few weeks. I've been thinking, it's about a month away now. Now it's that 2 weeks.
Yeah, these things have a habit of creeping up on you, especially tours like this, which are kind of they're sort of kind of long in the making, really.
Yeah.
I
need to get new batteries for my shaver.
Yeah, that's the priorities.
Yeah, fucking shaved.
I need to change my strings. No, it's So this tour is it's a UK tour, and we're out to kind of promote our latest album, Triggered, which came out back in November last year, and this is like we're going completely
number 6 in the charts.
We're going completely balls deep.
Don't mean fuck all
in this album. On this one, we're playing a lot of the songs from this album. So
maybe we should put the ticket link on and get one of them little gold cats.
Come to the show.
Come to the show.
But you can't come to Bristol and you can't come to Leeds unless you've already got a ticket. Because you're all right.
All right. No, bought a ticket and everything.
No. If you can't, if you haven't got one for them, then you
don't show up. We're not being funny or out, but you can't come in.
Yeah, no amount of golden cats in the world are going to entice you into them. No. Because they're sold out.
They are sold out.
I will, can we say? Yeah. Portsmouth.
Yeah.
And the Tivoli.
Very close.
And Birmingham.
Portsmouth in particular is...
They're going to sell out.
He's about sold out, really, to be honest.
So if you are considering at all, then please...
First one on the tour, that Portsmouth, isn't it?
Yes, yeah, it's going to start off with a bang. We've never been to Portsmouth either, so...
Never been. Is it nice? Have you been?
No, I've never been to Portsmouth.
Never even been?
No. Never even passed through it. I suppose if you pass it through it, you're in the sea, aren't you?
For a swim, aren't you?
know.
How far is it from Southampton? Is it like... Is there a rivalry? Is there a big rivalry there? Portsmouth?
All the mouths, I don't know, I get mixed up with the Portsmouth...
Southmouth.
That's not Southmouth, is it? No. I'm thinking of Bournemouth. Plymouth.
Cornwall
Plymouth.
Plymouth.
Foulmouth.
Oh, yeah. Weymouth.
Yeah. There's loads of mouths.
Yeah, there isn't. I never.
Coast,
Do you know what? I never thought.
Only the city that you actually brought up isn't a mouth, and I thought it was
Cornwall mouth.
No, Southampton mouth.
Southmouth. No, it's not, is it?
Southmouth.
Mouth.
Yeah.
Mickey Mouth.
Ricky Bell. Yep. But anyway, we're heading to Portsmouth. I'm going to remember these off the top of my head. Portsmouth, Cambridge, Bristol, London, Norwich, Manchester, Birmingham, Buckley.
We're doing in that order.
Leeds and Edinburgh. They might be jumbled up a little bit there, to be honest. I don't think that was the exact order. And it starts on the 13th and ends on the 25th. The dates in between, you're gonna have to find out for yourself. I'm afraid, because I don't have that. I'm not equipped with that information right now. I could find it, but give you a bit of a job to do.
It's a challenge.
Yeah,
it's a challenge for you.
Aye.
Yeah, I challenge you to go and buy a ticket.
Yeah, but it's gonna be great. We're bringing a bigger show than we've ever done. There's all kinds of stuff going on. It's gonna be good. Really, really looking forward to it.
Yeah, mega. I can't wait. It's been like that. It's been like the longest. It feels like. Well, it has been months, but months and months and months since we did anything, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, it's quite a long gap for us.
It's a mega long gap. Yeah.
Very rarely have more than 2 months.
We might go belting on stage and just absolutely crumbled. I mean, that would be worth seeing on its own, wouldn't it? Really,
yes,
I'd buy a ticket for that. Oh fuck! Oh no! What do we do?
I've forgotten it all. Now
songs new to us something.
Well, I don't know if it's a good or a bad thing, but we're really sort of well rehearsed for this, which I guess we've never been before.
You say that.
Well, no, but that is kind of worrying. That we are more rehearsed than we've ever been, and on paper that's a good thing, but maybe it's a bad thing.
It's just good to get the first one out of the way, innit? Portsmouth, not get it out of the way. That sounded awful.
Yeah, coming to Portsmouth is going to be great. Yeah.
but to get it done and to be like, right, nice one. Because once you've played them, you've got them in your head for the next night, haven't you? And you get into a routine, don't you?
Yeah.
On the Darkness thing, it was amazing. Like every night, it was just that routine, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, on that was a really long set of dates, wasn't it?
And it was loads of fun. It was loads of fun.
It was.
I really enjoyed that too.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's great.
It's great.
But this one is going to be even more fun, definitely. And anyway, waffling on about this.
We could talk about this all day.
We could talk about it all day. But yeah. So other gigs that have been announced. You were to mention a big one.
Yeah, it's a funny one, really. That's that. Again, the research button wasn't available on my. On my iPad, to be honest, but is it Power Trip? It's in California, isn't it? I've seen rumblings. I've seen lots of rumblings. You see, the trouble is with social media, you see posters for things, and unless you go digging, you don't know whether it's a real poster or a real announcement. But I saw a lot of people talk about it, and I saw a poster, but I don't know if it's an official poster or an official announcement, announcing 4 headliners for the festival: AC/DC, Ozzy Osbourne, Tool, and Guns N' Roses, I think.
Wow.
Innit? That's
we're not playing this, by the way. That's not where this is leading.
We're not one of the headliners.
Unfortunately.
We're not one of the headliners, no. Yeah. They asked, but we're
unavailable.
We
said go give Axl.
Give it Axl.
Axl
give him the gig.
And the Mr. Tool a shout. You know, whatever they're called.
Tool. I am ashamedly, I know less than nothing about the band Tool.
You know what? I suspect
they're a proggy band.
Yeah.
Is that made by with a big hair? Sounds like Geddy Lee. Who were they?
Prog band with a big hair.
Sounds like Geddy Lee.
I know you're on about Coheed and Cambria.
Coheed and Cambria, sorry about that. People are almost switching off going, what does he know? There's nothing. I don't know anything.
I don't really.
Right.
No, I suspect as well that I actually might like Tool. I've just never listened to them. I don't know.
Yeah, people
saving them for a rainy
telling
day.
you what, if they're headlining a festival like that with those other bands, they must be big.
Well,
Past me, but I don't know.
They're like almost like cult huge, aren't they?
They're right.
They're like the sort of kings of like that sort of modern progressive metal, and because I don't think they did a right lot over the last like 20 odd years. When they did release an album, it was like a
big deal.
Do
you know what? Yeah, I think I think I've seen people say that. Did they release an album or release some stuff and everyone went mad, or released a song or something? And it's like people in the new Tool song, everyone going crazy. And I was like,
yeah, I'm sure it was I'm sure it was. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I'm just firing my mouth off here, but I'm sure there was even it was even a bit of a joke, like, the new Tool album, that it's something that's never going to happen, or new Tool music. It was like a joke, Yeah,
let us know if you're a Tool fan, by the way.
Yeah, and give us some Tool recommendations. Don't be saying things like,
don't make my joke for me.
Go on, will you? So predictable.
Oh, I don't fucking know.
Like a lathe or something. Dremel.
Adjustable spanner. Something, I don't know.
A multi-tool.
Yeah. Tin snips.
Yeah, but no, just give us some Tool songs or albums to check out.
Yeah, do that. Yeah, but it's it's a big lineup, that, isn't it? And the main thing is always what I wanted to discuss really was the age of these guys. And is it? I mean, I don't get the whole Ozzy thing. I love Ozzy as much as the next man. He's an institution. He's the guy. He's a legend. He seems to me. I mean, I don't fucking know him. Which is no surprise. He seems to me to be. A lot of these people who have been around a long time, who were massive celebrities, they seem to have two sides to them. They seem to be camera nice, and then you hear stories about them and whatnot, and they're not as cool, they're not as down to earth as they make out. But Ozzy genuinely seems to have never moved on.
Yeah, it's just
from where he was when he was about 15. You know, I believe something about him. You can sort of see, through him, and he's just gold all the way through. And I think he just strikes me as that kind of guy. And
simple, not a simple guy, but you know what I mean. He
straight up,
not complicated, is he? Really?
No, he's just
he likes what he likes doing.
Regular bloke. He seems to be permanently amazed that he's.
Still can't believe it. Yeah,
but to put him on it's a bold move to put him on, isn't it?
Well,
considering the recent.
Yeah, well, this is it. I mean, I guess the point, if of this, and it's more specifically about Ozzy, really, because I guess Guns N' Roses, they're not that old, and Tool are similar,
Guns N' Roses, arguably over the last 2 or 3 years, have been better than ever, haven't they? In terms of. Because when they first came back on the scene, when they got back together, it was all about Axl's attitude, wasn't it? And Axl being late for this and never showing up, and with the other Guns N' Roses lineup, the Chinese Democracy lineup, whatever that was. He was a nightmare, and for years he was a nightmare, and all the videos came out, and then he joined AC/DC. He just seemed to book him up, didn't it? Mm-hmm. He seemed, I think, I read that because he loved AC/DC so much, he was never going to mess them guys around.
Well, no, bloody hell. Well, Can you
imagine? I want to see the angry side of Angus and Malcolm, to be honest.
Well, I bet there was words I had beforehand. I bet there was.
You're fucking missing about, mate. Yeah. I don't want none of that bullshit in this band. Yeah. was Malcolm was Malcolm alive when?
No.
Was he not alive for that?
No, I don't.
The lines are blurred.
I think Malcolm retired a while before they even stopped.
He went in the home, didn't he?
Yeah,
that's right.
Bless him.
Yeah, but no, Angus takes no shit. You can just tell, can't you?
Well, yeah. I mean, I just you wouldn't, would you? You wouldn't. Well, other than. Well, it's a massive lifeline. Not that Axl's career was fledgling by any means. I don't think he was short of cash. But what an opportunity and what a bloody honour as well of everyone to be given that opportunity. So yeah, I think he's savvy enough to have realised, I could really come out and reinvent myself, I guess, a little bit.
He'd been away for long enough to come back. And his own fate was in his own hands.
Yeah,
it could either be amazing or it could be a disaster, depending on how he played it.
Exactly.
He was at the perfect point, wasn't he? And he absolutely nailed it. And I've never heard a bad thing about him since.
No,
even with Guns N' Roses, we seen him at Download, didn't we, that year? That year we played in the Dogtooth tent. And,
they were on there, weren't they?
They played headline, didn't they? Yeah, and I've not heard any bad news or any fallings out or anything like that.
No, well, I mean, bloody hell, you just think that. I guess you know what? I guess it's because there's no new music involved. There's none of that. The politics that I imagine that would bring. They're just playing. They're basically doing what they did 30 years ago.
Are they? I know we got off topic a bit here. Are they planning on writing anything or recording any music?
I've no idea.
I'm surprised. They haven't come out yet.
Well, it's hard, really, because I mean, Slash is still pumping. They're still pumping albums out. Solo albums. I don't know. I guess they don't. You know what? They don't need to.
Really.
And to be honest, they've got such a small back catalogue. They've got Appetite.
The Spaghetti Incident.
Well, all right. Well, that one ain't so hot. But what is it? What's Use Your Illusions?
Yeah, the Use Your Illusion one.
So you got his Appetite in the 2 Use Your Illusion albums, and it's like between them, you've got
everything you want.
Yeah.
Well, and they play they play Slither, don't they? And that's a banger.
Oh, do they?
Yeah,
Guns N' Roses play Slither.
Yeah, they played it at Download. Yeah. Oh, now you're asking. I'm the king of doubting myself, but I am 99% sure they played that at Download.
Well, you know what? That's pretty incredible. That
they might have even played a couple of bloody Velvet Rover songs.
You know what? That's like that. Well, that you know, the Axl of yesteryear, I would never have thought would do that. Would sing.
No,
you know,
what's he called?
Weiland, Scott Weiland.
Scott Weiland.
But he, you know, I guess, well, yeah. Again,
Maybe just fucking gone. Well, I don't care anymore. I'm just going to sing these songs, enjoy myself, and give everybody what they want. Why not?
Yeah, exactly.
It's a banger, that song, isn't it? I'm sure that somebody will tell me. I'm sure they play it in the set anyway.
Yeah, I hope they do. You know, that'd be great. I think that'd be great. I don't think there'd be a single person, you know, in attendance that would
not appreciate that song.
Not appreciate it. You know, so yeah, that's cool.
But yeah, Ozzy, yeah, it's an odd one, really.
Yeah, I guess the point is, I mean, when to call it a day? Is that what, you know? Is that the kind?
Yeah, I mean, it's nobody's place is it to tell anybody to stop when to stop doing anything. You know, it's like us talking the other week there about bands knocking it on the head when certain members leave. I mean, it's not up to anyone to tell anyone when to stop, is it? But how old is he? Ozzy must be 75.
Oh, he'd be well in his 70s now. Yeah,
fucking. I mean,
they were like born in the sort of end of the Second World War. These guys, weren't they? You know.
Fair play to them, because I don't know many 75-year-olds that.
Well, this is it, though.
Yeah,
I mean,
these rockers, they're still doing it, aren't they? There's a lot of them.
I know, but have you seen? All right. Well, we watched. We were at Downloaders Punters, weren't we? Incidentally, was that when AC/DC played as well, or was it a few years later? It was no. It was a couple of years later. This Black Sabbath played. So it's probably about 10 years ago.
Yeah. For Tanny's Stag Do, that's what we went, wasn't it?
Yeah,
they played.
And they played. That was about 10 years ago. And Ozzy then, I thought, was absolutely on the limit of what you could still do. You know.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, this guy. You know.
Yeah, this is the final.
Yeah, he's bloody hell. I'm not, again, love the guy, not knocking it, but he looked, you know, uncomfortable in parts. It was like, you know, shuffling about. Yeah, chucking his bottles of, you know, buckets of water
about, whatever he does
stuff. Couldn't quite get to the front row, you know, because it's like miles
just landed
away.
On the security guy's head, just on his monitors.
Yeah, just on the cameras.
Oh,
you know.
Fuck!
Sharon.
Fuck you, yeah.
No, and you
Sorry
know,
about that,
and it was
people from
great. It was still, yeah, you know, it was still great. The songs were great, and he's still doing that. But you know, he's got teleprompters everywhere, and. Fair play, it was brilliant, but you know, 10 years on, add another 10 years, not an insignificant amount of time. I just can't see what he could be like.
People
you know?
automatically go. I mean, people talk. The nature of social media is people talk absolute shit about things they know nothing about.
It's the nature of a podcast as well.
Yeah, well, it is. And whatever you think about Sharon, which is the obvious thing, which I know what's going to happen in this. I know what's going to happen in this comments. Everyone's going to go, fucking Sharon.
It's Sharon, isn't it?
Well, but we don't know. You don't fucking know. We don't know the facts. You don't know. You can't tell me that he doesn't have some massive say in what. I mean, maybe she suggests. I mean, it must be a partnership. The guy's like, he must want to do it. Maybe it's time for somebody to tell him, look, man, we just fucking, you're for your own health and safety. You know, I don't know. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe he goes, I want to go out on my sword. I want to go out singing. I want to go out on stage. You know, I want to do it.
Well,
look at Lemmy.
It's you know, when these rumours are sort of circulating about him coming back, and this is like weeks after, you know, big announcements of I'm retiring from touring,
and that was after like a 3-year layoff.
Yeah, from postponing tours,
postponing that tour because of his health, and he had the bad spine. Did he have a spinal surgery that went wrong as well?
Bloody hell, he's like a bionic man now, isn't he? But
you know,
and it.
Maybe he'll come out in like a Doc Ock thing with like big fucking...
Like a sack barrel thing. Like they just go on then.
Yeah.
What is this? And but Sharon, I think the thing with Sharon is like, it's becoming a little bit transparent. You know, these marketing ploys. You know, fair enough. It should come as absolutely no shock to anybody that a 70-whatever-year-old bloke retires. You know? You what?
Maybe
Ozzy's retiring.
Maybe he hasn't been paying his national insurance and he has to do a few extra years just to get his state pension.
Just to get his stamp, yeah.
To get his 12 quid a week.
And you know, all that kind of bollocks. It's like fair enough, but is it really a surprise? You know that he's had enough. And if you read I went back before this and read his statement. And it is worded like it's from touring, retiring from touring. However, you know, that leaves the door open to like one-off shows and festival appearances and stuff, you know. But it just smacks of like, you know, keeping him in the news, you know, when they come out with stuff like, Ozzy's retired.
Got to remember as well, if you think about it, it's very different to retiring on Civvy Street. You know, like your dad, my dad. My dad retired a couple of years ago after 50 years of working for the man and it being absolutely shit. Whereas you're asking Ozzy to retire from 50 years of doing something he loves more than anything in the world. So he's not going to want to. He's not going to want to retire. Is he? He's not digging holes for a living, is he?
No, and also you can imagine the sums of money involved. You know, colossal amounts of money for what he's going to essentially be a few days' work. You know.
Yeah, he's got to think. Yeah, well, we can. You know, and looking after his family and his generations after generations. That's what's going to be on his mind, isn't it?
Well, and the crew and his band. You know, this is something that. I think we touched upon this in another podcast. I can't remember what we were
on about Francis. People telling Francis you should knock it on the head, and that you know his crew that have been with him forever, they're suddenly out of jobs.
Yeah.
You know, 40, 50-year-old blokes are like, well, what do I do now? Do I go and work for another band who have got to, you know, it's hard finding work. Francis is essentially keeping those guys in work, isn't he?
It's something that people
to an extent
people don't consider, you know. And I'm not saying that's, you know, I don't think Ozzy would continue doing anything for solely the benefit of you know
other people,
but
it's gonna. But if he's as genuinely a nice bloke and he's grounded, that's gonna go through his head. He's gonna think, what about the people? What about these people? Like they're gonna be out of work when I stop singing, and that's probably gonna be in the back of his mind. And he's gonna beat himself up a bit about it and think, well, you know, we'll just make him a bit more money and keep going as long as we can.
Well, I could be wrong, but he just does seem like. I'm not Sharon bashing at all. You know, she's obviously clever at what she and very good at what she does. But it is almost like she just points him in a direction and then just sort of off you go, and then he comes back and then she points him in that direction. There you go, off you go, do that.
Maybe, yeah.
And he's happy to do it, like you said. I'm not saying he's been coerced into it.
No.
Because, like you said, he's a bloody, you know, he's his own guy. And if he genuinely didn't want to do it, whatever, or did want to do something, I'm almost certain he'd say, you can't force anyone to do anything.
No, the love of it will be colossal. And it must be, and also, you know, it must be hard. It must be fucking hard getting to that age and accepting my time's over.
Yeah.
It must be hard to put it down, to put down the microphone and go, look, that's me done. He's just gonna. He'd want to make. You see it so much with boxers. I know it's not the same, is it? Boxers and motorbike racers. They just keep going and going because it's like I don't want to stop.
Yeah,
I've got more to give.
We were talking about this yesterday, weren't we? With you know, certain TT races and road races.
They just race till they get killed, don't they? And they don't.
Just It's like they've
sad,
got
isn't it?
absolutely nothing to prove anymore.
Yeah.
Past their prime, it's fair to say. And you know, but the stakes, they're just so high.
Yeah,
you know, it's like not you know, no one's gonna die, you know, doing a gig, like, but it's something about people that when they're doing something they love and they just you just
gotta let them get on with it.
Take it beyond what they should do, really.
To be honest, you get it with a lot of people, don't you? But boxers are the same, aren't they? You get a lot of boxers. Roy Jones Jr. was the same, you know, one of the best boxers of all time, but just carrying on, and he started getting, after the Joe Calzaghe fight when he got beaten, he just kept fighting and getting beaten and beaten and beaten and beaten. He's doing exhibition fights and getting beaten and beaten, and it's just like people are going, Roy, please. You're 55 years old. Stop fighting. You've got nothing to prove. But it's in him, innit? In a minute, just keep going.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. If people are buying the tickets, I mean, we mentioned John Bon Jovi, you know, a few years ago. There was some less than flattering footage emerging of his gigs.
Yeah.
And he's there doing it to stadiums and arenas full of people who are all buying all buying tickets. So why the hell not? Why should he not do it? You know, if it's half empty and people are, you know, it's like, oh, come on, knock it on the head. But like you mentioned with the you know, the boxes and whatever, it's because the name still means something, and they draw people.
And
in.
You find as well, I've said before, in like the rock and metal community, there's a lot of loyalty, isn't there?
Yeah.
If you pick your bands and you follow your bands, people are loyal to you, aren't they? They'll want to go and support Ozzy and go and see him, and like they won't care if it's bad or however it is. They'll just be like, "There's fucking Ozzy. Ozzy, he's like a god, isn't he? He's like a god. He can do no wrong."
One thing I don't understand, and I'm sure there's more to it, than it seems. But why aren't Black Sabbath a thing? You know, why is it Ozzy? Well, again, I suspect I know why that is a thing.
I don't know. Well, I thought the whole
So all that coin can land in one person's pocket rather than 3 or 4's. You know.
Well, I always thought the whole bloody Bill What's-it thing was very. I'm not involved, so I don't know, do I? But I'm sure it could have been handled a lot better than it was.
Oh, Bill Ward.
Bill Ward.
Yes.
Sorry, I forgot his bloody surname.
Shocking, isn't it?
It would have been. How nice would it have been to have Bill Ward there? You know.
Yeah.
It's not really. For me, I'm not the world. I do love Black Sabbath. I'm not a Black Sabbath nutcase. But for me, it would have been the icing on the cake to have the 4 guys. But considering they're all bloody alive,
I know. Yeah.
they're all there. It's like this must just take a talk around a table.
Yeah.
Surely somebody can go, look, yeah, all right, we'll get it organised for the sake of the band. But it's obvious it's maybe not for the sake of the band, is it? Like
no.
It's for the sake of other stuff, and maybe the memory of the band doesn't mean as much to certain people as it does to others.
Well, it's almost
romanticising it a little bit much, but
it's become Black Sabbath is Tony Iommi's thing, and Ozzy Osbourne is obviously Ozzy's
Sharon's thing. Ozzy's thing.
Yeah.
Sorry, Sharon, if you're watching.
Oh yeah, we'll have bloody.
We'll probably have lawyers.
Sue our ass.
We'll be living in this fucking Chinese restaurant before the end of the week. You watch. We'll have the clothes off our back.
I don't think she's got time to watch this kind of shit. Listen to this guff.
Oh dear.
Sorry, not to insult those who do listen. You obviously, yeah, we love you. Please keep listening.
Don't take it personally.
But nah, she's off. You know, I don't know. Going around old people's homes and ripping them off somehow. I don't know. She does. No, I'm only joking. She's just business, and that is as romantic and whatever as we want to look at all this. That's what it is. Well, at the end of the day,
this is the thing with the music business. It's on one. There's 2 sides to it. There is the business side, which is very, 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 very serious, and there is the other side, which is the art, which is very serious and very, very, very romanticised to an extent in people's heads, because it's a passion, it's a love, it's what people invest their soul into. But there are 2 sides. After the 2 sides have to work together, you know, and it's often a bit tricky. And one side raises its head to the other side, and it can
exactly.
The fans don't want to hear the business side.
No, they don't.
No, because it takes the sort of, you know, the romanticism away. The mystery away. Yeah.
And I get that, you know, it's a little bit of escapism, isn't it? You don't want to bloody see. You don't want to read the contracts involved, you know, with all this kind of crap.
You want to you want to believe that Ronnie James Dio was fighting off warlocks,
don't
you? And riding wildebeests into the sunset or whatever the fuck he does.
on the back of a winged horse.
Exactly. So you want to believe that shit, don't you?
Yeah. Look out!
Yeah, look out!
Nah, he's
whatever that was.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I hope it does happen, and I hope he's great.
Fair play. Yeah, I hope it's a massive success. It probably will be. He'll have to fucking get a broomstick up his back and a fucking giant magnifying glass to read the words or whatever. I don't know. Fair play.
Yeah, that's it. You know, you just don't. There's a bit of you that. You just want to remember him a certain
care
way.
about him, don't you?
Yeah, you just want
you
to
don't want
to.
You see, you're thinking, give it a rest, man, for your sake. It's not for anyone else. It's for, like, you want the guy to sit back and enjoy the rest of his life, sort of chilling out. But maybe he's too passionate about it to do that. Yeah, so that's it. I think let's hope it's a big success. If you're going. Then have a good one. I think
you just want it to be good. You just want him to be good. And you know what? He might be bloody good. He might come out and he might be like, yes,
a skateboarding set on with his pants on fire.
No, but you know what I mean. He might be like, yes, this is brilliant. What a great, you know, legacy. You know, and you just don't want him to come out and be crap, and that's how it's remembered.
Well, we haven't got long left on the old camera, but I just want to mention about there's some sad footage of Lemmy. You know, like his last shows, and he's singing. I think he's at Glastonbury, and he's singing like. Ace of Spades, and he's singing the same verse 3 times, and all the lads,
the rest of the band,
are just like, go with it, lads, go with it. But that's how loved he is, and that's how loved Ozzy is, and that's why people don't care. They care about him, don't they? Care about these people, which is good.
Right.
But
See you next week.
See you next week, folks.
Cheers, guys.